Hello creators, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to take circles and ellipses and put them together to make spheres. A very crucial and important step to learn more complex forms such as the skull. Alright, so today I think we're going to go over some circles and ellipses. If you remember my last instructional video, we went over the circle exercise where we just ghosted in our circles really lightly. Try to get a really controlled motion going on, right? So we went over circles. And if you want to, before we get started, go ahead and draw you a few more. They don't have to be the same size. I'm going to go ahead and draw a few more on here for demonstration's sake. Alright, and we also went over ellipses. Ellipses. Alright. Just like that. So I went over these in the last video for a reason. Hopefully you've been practicing since then and you'll be really good. Anyway, just draw a few of these to get warmed up. If you didn't see my last video, I'm going to put a card right here. So just doink, click it to see the last video, where I go over beginner exercises to help you warm up. They're probably better for warm-up exercises. But you could practice them and they'll help you with your dexterity and hand-eye coordination. Alright, so that's enough of that. So if we take a circle plus an ellipse, you know what we can do with that? We can make a sphere. So I have a nifty little prop here. It'd be better if you could see through it, but anyway. So we have the circle, and then we have an ellipse that goes around, that wraps around it. And the reason it's an ellipse is because if you could see through this circle, it wouldn't be a perfect circle, right? So let me demonstrate. So on this circle here, okay. All right. So in this circle, we're gonna form our ellipse. We're gonna start ghosting in our image, or ghosting in our ellipse. And what we want to do is we want to make one stroke darker than the return stroke. So if we're going like this, kind of let up before you start. Press down on this stroke, and when you start to come up, let go. Take your finger off take pressure off of the pencil. So that's one axis of the sphere. Now we need to go the other way to get the other axis of the sphere. So same concept. You want to put pressure on the downstroke and release, and just pick up the pencil on the upstroke. Pressure on the downstroke. There you go. Excuse me. So now we have one sphere, right? When describing spheres, it's probably better to at least describe two axes. So we have one axis here and another axis here. So let's do it again right here. Let's just turn it a little bit. I know that my spheres are not perfectly round, but it makes them more interesting, right? So let's just pick another. Let's just do this a couple times to get some good practice in. If you got a little tail on it like that, it'll be all right. It'll be fine. Nobody's keeping score on this. It'll be all right. So we'll just keep practicing this until we feel comfortable with it. Now, when in a situation like this, one of the lines may be straight, perfectly straight, right? Because if we take our prop, if we take our little prop, and if we do that, put it on its head, both of these describing lines are perfectly straight, right? And that's okay. It actually, in this one, it actually looks like, if you look at this, looks like we're slightly tilted up, right? Now, all of these lines and this method here will be particularly important in later videos when we start talking about portraiture, and portraiture is particularly one of my favorite subjects. I love doing portraits, and I have a lot of portraits that I've done, mostly for practice, but they were fun. I've done a couple commissions. If you want to see more of my work, you can check out my Instagram. It's Rodney Creates. I will try to put a link in the description below, but we'll see. All right. So let me demonstrate why this is important in portraiture. Okay. So when you look at the skull, maybe 75 to 80% of the head is a sphere, right? So you have a sphere, and then you have this boxy shape that comes out. So let me demonstrate. So let's go to a new sheet of paper. Let's turn it this way, get centered up here. Sorry about that, y'all. So we're going to draw our sphere. We're going to draw our axis, one axis going this way, and then one axis going this way. I'll go into more proportions and stuff later. But so that's one axis, and then this is the second axis. So this would be the eye line. And really the skull is like a sphere with the sides chopped off. So this is a flat plane. Should be a flat plane. This is how I like to describe my planes. So in the front is a boxy shape. We're going to, oh, that's the wrong perspective. There you go. And then we have this. The proportions are kind of wrong here, but it's fine. It's fine. Maybe you're doing a caricature and you need these wonky proportions. It'd be alright. So we have our sphere here, and then our cube here. And I'm going to be covering cubes in another episode. Let me know in the description below if you want me to cover 2-point perspective along with the cube, or maybe cover that in a different video. I don't want these videos to go too awfully long. But anyway, so this is one example of the sphere being used in an organic figure, or organic figure. As far as spheres go, let's go back to our other page to check. Let's see. So as far as shading a sphere goes, let's do this. Let's get our sphere. Alright, so there's our sphere. Let's try to darken the edges a little bit. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. You can see that better on the camera. So we're going to say that our sphere is being lit from right here. There's my little wonky donkey light bulb. Little light bulb right there, right? So for this, so we're gonna ghost in our center axis, or our center line here, right? So this is the center of the sphere. Now, let's see if I can bring this sphere in, and if we can see an example. So I have a light right there in front of the camera. So our direct light is hitting right here. And as you see, the further you get around the form, the darker it gets, right? Let's move it over. See, that's the best way to describe it. So most of the light's hitting right here, and as our form turns away from the light, less light's hitting it directly. So that's why we get darker gradations. So I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to try to mimic that in this drawing. So I like to draw a little reference circle right here, because right there is going to be the brightest spot of the drawing. So I'm just going to, now I'm going to let you know, I haven't been formally trained, so I'm not perfect by any means, but I try to practice as much as I can, and I'm really passionate about learning art. And I've found that sometimes the best way to learn art is to teach art. So that's one of my goals here, is to teach you guys. And while I'm teaching you guys, I'll be learning alongside you, because I want to learn. I want to learn more so I can share more. A pro tip here: if you have a sharpened pencil laying on its side, makes it easier to shade larger areas. Okay, so just like we've seen on the styrofoam sphere, right here is the brightest, hottest spot, because that's where our light's pointing. As we come out, this is going to be it's going to be a little bit darker, right? And then it's going to get steadily darker. And then once we get like past the apex, I don't want to call it the apex, like the thickest portion of that curve, I guess, we're going to start getting even darker. If we spent more time on this, we could make it look smoother and more clean. But I don't want to keep you too long. I know y'all are probably busy. Maybe you're watching this on a lunch break or something, and I really appreciate it. But something to note here is if we have a table here, right here is going to be the darkest spot, because this is where this is going to meet the table. So if our light's here, we're going to look down this way, we're going to have a shadow coming off this way. And then this portion here is going to be the darkest area. And then we're going to shade that in. As we get further away from our subject, the lighter this area is going to be, because right here is directly underneath this ball, right? Well, the further we get this way, so if we look at our light source, right, there's less solid material blocking this light. So up here is going to be relatively dark, pretty dark, right? And then it's going to steadily gradate, or steadily lighten up. Like I said, I wish I had more time with you guys, but maybe I'll do a really good one and then put it on a time lapse or something. I don't know if you let me know in the comments below if you guys like the time lapse videos. I'd like some feedback, so start leaving some comments for me, and I'll try to improve. That goes for any videos that I make. I like some feedback. If you do like the video, please like, share, and subscribe with all your friends or anybody who else that might be interested in this type of content. Because I really enjoy making this content, and I'd like to know if you enjoy it. And if you have any questions or anything that you would like to see me demonstrate or teach, let me know. I'm willing to do the research and learn. I love to learn. One of my favorite things to do is learn. So I'm pretty happy with that, considering the amount of time we spent on it. All right. This is what happens when you draw. You get a little dirty. Alright guys, thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this video informative. If there's anything else you'd like me to cover, leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Alright, God bless.